Hey everyone, this is Jesse from Chosun Yonghwa Review here with a quick announcement as well as to kind of touch base with all of my fans and talk to you about the future of this channel as well as what's coming in the following months. First of all, I'd like to start off by thanking everybody for 350 subscribers so far. Now I know that's a pitiful amount compared to some of the other YouTube channels out there, but honestly, I've only been doing this for about a year or so, and I always knew that this was going to be a very, very niche channel. I never expected this channel to be very big. It's a channel about North Korean movies. That's really only ever going to be so popular, but I'm incredibly thankful for the small but dedicated community that I do have, and I really can't thank you guys enough for all of the support over the past 14, 15 months so far. So I hope I can continue to see you guys commenting on my videos and pointing things out to me and helping me out, because I really very much enjoy the small community that is congregated around this channel. And so I want to thank every single one of you out there. By all means, comment, share, send things to me on my Facebook page. I will always reply. I always try to reply to literally every single comment. So thank you again for all of your support, and I hope that you'll stick with me well into the future, because I have absolutely no intentions of ever stopping this channel. I won't stop until I run out of movies to review, and there are tons of North Korean movies, and I think I have like 60 North Korean movies just right now. And every time I look, every couple of months, I always stumble across a couple more I never saw and downloaded, and I have those too. So I have absolutely no shortage of content for you guys. So I also wanted to take the time just to address a few questions some of you might have, as well as update you guys on sort of a proto schedule that I'm working on. First of all, I just want to let you guys know that just because I'm doing other North Korea themed videos like Mysteries of North Korea or North Korean songs in English, doesn't mean that I'm running out of ideas or that I'm tired of doing North Korean movie reviews. North Korean movie reviews is the name of the channel. It's the channel's bread and butter, and they're absolutely not going anywhere. It's just that those types of videos take a while to make. To do a video, I'll typically watch the film at least twice while, there's writing the script, doing the editing, and doing my voice. And, I'm really trying to make my videos more professional. I know I've struggled in the past, especially in regards to audio. It was a learning curve, to be sure. I'm not cutting any corners, and I really want to try and make the experience better for all of us, because I don't like it when my videos come out bad either. And if I could redo the videos that I did that had bad audio without having to completely redo them, because I don't have the master files anymore, unfortunately, I would. And maybe I still will someday, who knows. But anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know, like I said, I have dozens of movies, and I'm working on them all the time. The reason why I'm doing the Mysteries of North Korea as well as North Korean songs in English is just those videos are a lot easier and less time consuming to make, and they offer, I think, an insight into North Korea in other ways that movies don't do. I'm trying to set up a schedule now where I'm going to have at least one video of all three of my series per month. You're going to get a movie review, you're going to get a Mysteries of North Korea, and you're going to get at least one North Korean songs in English. So that's 3 uploads a month. That's a lot more than what I used to do. I remember when I first started this channel, it was like once every couple of months. And that's another benefit of having different series in your channel, is that you'll always kind of have something to put out, not keep people waiting for so long. Now, the schedule is not completely set in stone. I want to warn everybody, this channel is just a hobby. I am a university student as well as a husband, and I also work. So this is chiefly a hobby. So I can't guarantee that you're always going to get 3 videos a month, but I promise that I will. So for this month of October, we should hopefully see Chunhyang being released. You already got your North Korean song in English, and you also already got your Mysteries of North Korea with Ri Kyung-suk. So for this month, all we're waiting on is Chunhyang, and I do have some type of Halloween special planned for you guys. I really wish it could be North Korea themed, but unfortunately there's no horror movies or anything horror related in North Korean cinema, which really sucks. I would love to do like a North Korean horror movie for you guys. There just aren't any. But I do have an idea of what I can do, and I really think you guys are going to like it, so stay tuned. I kind of wanted to take the time to sort of touch base with you guys, tell you a little bit about myself, why I started this channel, what this channel is, and what I hope that it will ultimately become. And I kind of wanted to save this for 500 subscribers, but hey, I was in a good mood, so why not? I originally had the idea for this channel as far back as, I want to say, 2015. I actually made an entirely separate channel called just North Korean movie reviews all the way back in 2015 that I was going to use specifically for making YouTube videos for that channel in addition to having my own personal channel. But I ultimately didn't do that because having two YouTube channels just seemed like too much work, so I just changed the name of my old channel to North Korean Movie Reviews. My intent with this channel, my initial goal with this channel was to be purely educational at first, and I think that you can really see that in the first two reviews that I did. Number one was that I always saw all kinds of different misconceptions and misunderstandings that people have about North Korea. As one subscriber pointed out so very perfectly, he stated something along the lines of, there are other channels out there that would just rather play on the fact that, oh, Kim Jong-un's a fat dictator and that's all people seem to care about. And yes, it is important that we acknowledge North Korea for what it is and that it's a very oppressive and horrible state in its present incarnation, and we can only hope for a peaceful resolution to this problem. But at the same time, it's important that people understand that Kim Jong-un is just one person out of that entire country of 25 million people. I feel a lot of people don't really grasp that. They just want to believe that North Korea is this evil country run by fat Korean Hitler, and I never liked that perception because that's so simple and convenient. And so what I wanted to do with North Korean movie reviews, Chosun Yonghwa Review, that's what that means, by the way, is I wanted to be as apolitical as possible as you can with a country like North Korea that's very difficult. I don't talk about Kim Jong-un in my videos. I don't make videos about Kim Jong-il, Kim Il-sung, the Workers' Party of Korea. I don't do that. I want to go past the politics as much as possible, and I want to focus on the ordinary people, what the culture and ideas and customs of the ordinary citizens of North Korea, absent of the Workers' Party of Korea, absent of the leadership of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, what have you. And there are times where that's impossible, where you have to acknowledge the political situation at some point simply because that's just how North Korea is. My goal and hope is to create a more human vision of North Korea, not as a state, but to create hopefully a more positive perception of the people in that country, because that's what a country is. It's a collection of people, and leaders do not represent their country's population. Again, Kim Jong-un is one person. And every North Korean that I've ever spoken to has always been very kind and very polite, and nothing like the leader who so claims to represent them. And to accomplish my goal, I thought, what better way to do that than North Korean movies? Now, I know what you might be thinking, Jesse, that's kind of a paradox. You're trying to show us an apolitical view of North Koreans by reviewing government films. And you're right to a certain extent that it is a paradox. They are indeed government films. As far as I know, every single film has to meet a certain criteria in order to be published or even made. At the same time, even though they are government propaganda, films still are the best visual representation of a culture's attitudes and ideas and feelings. Yes, North Korean films do exhibit that robotic 1984 long live Kim Jong-un dialogue, or you all know what I'm talking about. There's a heavy propaganda element in most North Korean films. However, you also do get a lot of intimate moments in North Korean films. You do get an insight as to what people are thinking and what people are feeling in the country. North Korean films aren't totally made up, nor are they 100% propaganda. There, of course, have to be humanistic and realistic elements of North Korean society in the films. Otherwise, they wouldn't be popular in North Korea. Yeah, there always is going to be a heavy dose of North Korean political correctness and propaganda in North Korean films, but I don't think that completely dilutes the perspective that we can take from North Korean films. Because you have to remember, and I've said this before, when North Korea collapses, and it will collapse one day, let's be honest, North Korea is not going to last forever. I don't think anybody has expected North Korea to last this long. I know I certainly haven't, but I really do think that day is coming sooner rather than later. And again, as fortunate of a thing as that is, don't get me wrong, when that country does collapse, these movies are all we're going to have. Once North Korea collapses, and let's say it reunifies with South Korea and Korea just becomes Korea, I can now go to those places that I currently can't go. Thank you, Donald Trump. You know, I could go to Pyongyang, I could go to Kaesong, Nampo, Cheongjin, Wonsan. I can go to all of these North Korean cities, but under a unified Korea, it wouldn't be North Korea anymore. It would just be Northern Korea. And so it wouldn't be the same experience. I'd be experiencing a Korea transitioning from Juche, or communism, more like fascism, into the capitalist state that South Korea is. These films, after North Korea collapses, are all that we're going to have that give us a visual representation of what North Korea is supposed to be like from an anthropological perspective. It's going to be the primary source for what people in North Korea thought, what they thought was funny, what their attitudes and ideas and customs were. Yes, we'll have books, but as far as and yes, we'll have testimonies from people who lived in there at the time, much like we do with the Soviet Union. In fact, the Soviet Union is a great example because the only visual medium that we have as far as knowing what the Soviet Union was like, again, aside from books and testimonies from people who lived in the Soviet Union, is movies. And pictures, I guess, but, you know, movies are a whole different animal as opposed to pictures. Movies show you what the country was like. Movies give you some idea of what an ideal North Korean family or what the ideal North Korean citizen looked like or was supposed to do or how they felt. Even if it's a government-sanctioned view, it's still worth something. And I noticed that whenever I was first doing research for this channel that nobody else was really doing it. I mean, the only North Korean movie that ever gets any attention is Burgasari. And I mean, I understand why Burgasari has the reputation that it does. I mean, with the whole Shinzano debacle and the fact that it's a North Korean kaiju film. It's not really that great of a movie, to be honest, and it's certainly, I wouldn't even call it the best North Korean movie. No, Broad Bellflower, I think, is a far better film. The Flower Girl is a better film. Hell, I think Womi Island's a better film, to be honest. It's not a great film. It's, you know, it's a cult classic that people follow just because it's North Korean Godzilla. And also, I want to take the time to tell everybody that you're all pronouncing Burgasari wrong. The correct way to pronounce Burgasari is with a B, not a P. It's Burgasari, not Pulgasari. The reason people mispronounce it as Pulgasari is because North Korea uses an antiquated, outdated form of romanization. So that's the spelling that appeared on the English version of the film. But the correct pronunciation is Burgasari. Just pointing that out. But anyways, so no, I never saw anybody doing any other films besides Burgasari. So I started watching other North Korean films. Yes, Burgasari was the first North Korean film I ever saw. I think that's everybody's first North Korean movie. Well, the first North Korean movie that I watched that wasn't Burgasari was Doshi Cheonyeok Sijipayo, Urban Girl Comes to Get Married. I watched that one, and after that I watched, it was Dorajikot, A Broad Bellflower, which was the first review I ever did. So suddenly I have this idea that I'm going to review these films, and I have absolutely no experience whatsoever editing film or doing effects and things like that. I'm still not very good at it. Just look at the production qualities for this video. I don't even have a fucking green screen. So I had no idea how to do this. I wanted to do Dorajikot as my first film review, and I'd watched the movie, I'd written the script, I had no experience with video editing software. So what I did was I downloaded iMovie on my MacBook Air. That's what I do all of my films on, by the way, is my MacBook Air. I don't have a super fancy computer. I looked up tutorials on how to make films with iMovie. One notable piece that I watched was the Angry Video Game Nerd Cinemassacre, James Rolfe. I watched his video on behind the scenes how he does a review, and I emulated that doing A Broad Bellflower. So I had his video, I had iMovie tutorials in another window, and iMovie open, and Broad Bellflower was the result of that first foray into YouTube videos. I still consider A Broad Bellflower to be my best work so far, and the reason that I think so is not so much for nostalgic purposes, but I felt like when I did A Broad Bellflower, when I was narrating the synopsis of the film, I was able to skip large portions of the film while still conveying, what the movie was about. That's something that I think I've lost since then, because the very next film that I did after that, Traffic Controller on Crossroads, even though that movie is only half the length of A Broad Bellflower, the movie review is 3 minutes longer. It's like 18 minutes versus 15 minutes for a broad bellflower. And I remember the reason why was because A Traffic Controller on Crossroads was really, really lacking as far as substance go. I felt like if I tried to skip portions of the film like I did with A Broad Bellflower, then people would be left wondering, well, what the fuck was the movie about? And I can understand that, because honestly, there isn't really a whole lot of substance to A Traffic Controller on Crossroads. It's just Eun-Suk and her turbulent relationship with people who like to speed. So in order for A Traffic Controller on Crossroads to make sense, I ended up having to narrate that entire film like scene by scene, and I felt like that was really unnecessary and it took too long. And that's kind of the only way I can do movies now, is Urban Girl Comes to Get Married, Order Number 27. Every movie I've ever done since has always been on like a scene by scene basis, and so the narration is like 2/3 of the movie. So I feel like I've lost what originally made A Broad Bellflower good. Like I said, it's my personal favorite. Another thing that's changed from the first few reviews that I did to the later ones is that with the first two films that I did, A Broad Bellflower and A Traffic Controller on Crossroads, I wasn't humorous. Like, I didn't make too many, I don't really think I made any jokes. In A Broad Bellflower, there was the cow part, which I just couldn't resist because it was so fucking ridiculous. I had to make a joke about it. In A Traffic Controller on the Crossroads, I don't think there was a single joke in that entire video. And the reason why I took a more serious tone in my first couple videos is because I really only intended for this channel to be educational. I didn't plan to have the dry, sarcastic sense of humor that I like to put into them now. Because, like I said, when I started this channel, I started with the understanding that nobody else is doing this. You're the only one doing this, so you need to treat it like it's important. And I remember showing these, when I showed the first two videos to my brother. My brother is an amateur filmmaker. I was telling him about my dilemma because, you know, I'm a naturally, I have a sarcastic sense of humor. It's an integral part of who I am. And he told me basically, just be yourself, because with movies like the ones you're showing me, it's impossible not to be humorous and laugh at them. And I think he's absolutely right. To us, to people who don't live in North Korea, these films are absolutely ridiculous for the most part. It really is impossible not to laugh at them. So all of my films like that, I've had a more personal style of reviewing them as opposed to being more reserved. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed that. Maybe you haven't. I'm not always going to be humorous with certain videos. With The Flower Girl, for example, I don't think I had any real humor in that. I don't believe so. With more serious North Korean films, no. Purgasari, I don't know, it depends. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. Maybe I'll do a live stream where we watch it together or something. Okay, anyways, guys, this video has gone way too long. I just kind of wanted to, again, thank all of you for 350 subscribers. It means more to me than you will ever know. And in case you are curious, yeah, I'm wearing a North Korean shirt. I don't know, I'm a fucking nerd. Anyways, alright guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much again for 350 subscribers, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.